Hello, everyone. Thanks for taking your time out to view our presentation. My name is Ajandra, and my teammates for this project are Tara and Brian. We are Team 3, the Advocates. Um, I will be presenting on laissez-faire leadership style. Laissez-faire leadership style is a hands-off leadership approach. Brian's going to be presenting on transformational leadership. Transformational leadership is big picture approach. Tara is going to be presenting on democratic leadership style. Democratic leadership style is leadership approach in which the team shares governance. So as I mentioned, laissez-faire leadership style is a hands-off leadership approach, but that doesn't mean like totally hands-off as a leader. Under this leadership style, there's very minimal supervision, and team members have freedom to make their own decisions. But that doesn't mean they can go out and do whatever action or whatever they want, but rather stay within the guidelines and boundaries provided by the leader. Expectations are high from group members under laissez-faire leadership style. They're expected to solve their own problems and know when to ask for help if they're not able to solve problems. Laissez-faire leadership style is a delegative leadership style. So the strengths and weaknesses of laissez-faire leadership style. One of the weaknesses under this leadership style is that team members that need more directions are at loss because of the lack of experience. Performance can suffer if the leader fails to establish a strong accountability among the team members. This leadership style is not possible if the team members are inadequate with their skills that's needed to complete the task on hand. Each team member needs to have high skill levels and self motivation to work under this leadership style. Leaders are able to delegate under this leadership style, which is I think is a big advantage. Delegation of tasks results in better use of time for the leader. Uh, the leadership is this leadership enables team members to have creative freedom and approach to the task on hand. Strengths of laissez-faire leadership team is the set of skills they have and their expertise. Laissez-faire leadership encourages personal development, and this ends up creating leaders for future within the organization. I believe the biggest role of a laissez-faire leader is to provide support and resources for the team when needed. If a leader shows that he or she is very resourceful, the team will turn to you for resources when needed to complete tasks on hand. Being relaxed is also important as a laissez-faire leader. This doesn't mean being lazy, but being able to keep your mind off work after delegating and having set schedule to check in on projects. Keeping your eye on a big picture. Being confident and having confidence is important under this leadership style. Have a clear plan for the team and have confidence for them to make the right decisions. Laissez-faire leadership laissez-faire leader must be good at creating teams, which can be a difficult thing to do. The two key aspects of making a good team, first thing is finding the talent, and second is inspiring talent to join the team. That's also very important under laissez-faire leadership style. So, in summary, laissez-faire leadership is very rarely used in healthcare. This type of leadership can only work for highly skilled and expert employees. We can use this leadership more than we realize. One of the examples for leadership style is in healthcare with nursing. When a nurse arrives to work, they usually have a assigned section, certain patients they have to make rotations on, and When they start their work, they start accomplishing tasks associated with each patient and their patient care. Uh, the expertise of the nurse allows them to make decisions about the patient's care without immediately consulting a nurse supervisor. That being said, a new nurse is not given the same authority. As I mentioned in my previous slide, experience, skill set, and expertise is important for laissez-faire leadership style to work. Laissez-faire leadership style is not for everyone in every situation, but it's a great tool to have as a leader. I strongly believe that this could work in certain aspects of healthcare, being a healthcare leader. So that's something to look into. Delegation is a huge part of laissez-faire leadership. So yeah, it's a really good tool to have, and I strongly do believe it can be used in certain situations in leadership, and not completely as being a laissez-faire leader. It's completely in healthcare. That's not going to work, but on certain aspects of healthcare, this will definitely work. And up next is Brian. He is going to be presenting on transformational leadership style. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Brian Capanting. I'll be going over the transformational leadership. One definition of transformational leadership is it encourages employees to think critically, and the leaders offer inspiring. These leaders have a big vision, and they are charismatic and motivating. The big picture approach, however, does not cover the day-to-day details. A transformative leader will require dedicated managers that have more detailed approach to ensure that administrative tasks and daily processes are in place. This was also quoted from Lazari. Another definition is that it typically inspires staff by creating an environment of intellectual stimulation. This was also taken from the 9 common leadership styles. The top 5 traits that was found within the transformational leader is openness to experience, conscientiousness, extroversion and or introversion, agreeableness and neuroticism, and emotional stability. This was also quoted from the Transformational Leadership Guide. Most transition leaders have these 5 traits. Parts of healthcare, like nurses, are leaning towards this type of leadership. Transformational leadership has its pros and cons. The pros are that it allows for a quick formulation of a vision, it promotes enthusiasm, it uses inspiration to motivate people. And the cons are it can face serious detailed challenges, it might overlook reality and truth, and it carries the potential for abuse. This can be found in the 6 pros and cons of transformational leadership. One advantage is that it helps leaders to be open to ideas and go forth with their visions, hoping for a positive impact. They are hoping that the ideas on paper are good enough to make it into reality. They tend to inspire and motivate others due to their dedication in their work and continuing to give intellectual stimulation by having employees think outside of the box. This creates a relationship of a trust and respect in a safe zone. One disadvantage is that the transformational leader is blinded by all their ideas, that they may not investigate further into the situation and realize that not all their ideas are good ideas for the present situation. They may be missing some key factors that will help solve an issue. In their head, it may play out smoothly, but when reality hits, they may feel a little discouraged because it did not come out as planned as they were hoping for. 2 significant people that explored and introduced transformational leadership are James McGregor Burns and Bernard Bass. Burns was the main founder of transformational leadership and believed that this type of leadership was for greater good, which held strong morals and values. Bass extended transformational leadership by providing a test called Multi-Factor Leadership Quiz, MLQ. The quiz has a scale that includes inspirational motivation, idealized influence, idealized behavior, intellectual stimulation, individualized consideration, contingent reward, active managed by exception, and laissez-faire. And the MLQ test provides 3 outcome criteria. These include the follower's extra effort, EEF, the effectiveness of leaders, behavior, EFF, and the follower satisfaction, SAT. This can also be found under the Transformational Leadership Guide. This test will measure and analyze leaders and their subordinates' performances and characteristics at any given situation. Thank you for listening, and Tara will demonstrate and explain democratic leadership.
Thank you, Brian, for your introduction. The leadership style that I will be discussing today is the democratic leadership style. This can be referred to as a participative or a shared leadership style. This is a style in which everyone is encouraged to participate. Democratic leadership encourages members of a team to take on responsibility and decision making. This type of leadership values collaboration. Democratic leaders use the diversity of the team to their advantage. There's discussion of all ideas, and this helps the leader gain a much more grand perspective and overview of the project or idea. Rather than relying on a single person to decide what is best for everyone, the leader hears and is open to the ideas of all. Because of this, there is distribution of responsibility, and group members gain a sense of empowerment, and they often feel like they have ownership of the project or idea. Work goals are set, which then encourages group members to participate fully. These characteristics allow for strong group interaction and decision making. As with any style, there are sets of weaknesses that can be seen. For the democratic style, there can be communication failures. If you do not communicate or learn to communicate effectively, there can be many problems. Because of the level of freedom that a democratic leader allows, communication must be on point to steer the group in a productive direction. A democratic leader must be open to input from the group, but must also be able to focus the conversation to keep things productive and on track. Healthcare workers tend to be highly skilled workers, but those that are new or in new positions may not have the skill sets to provide adequate decision making. And because there are many voices within a group, sometimes group members might feel like their opinions are not being accepted, and this can cause distension in groups where there are several strong voices. The strengths of the democratic leader is that there is often high job satisfaction and morale. People like to have their opinions valued and heard. This in turn makes them feel like they are contributing and working towards a goal. Allowing many ideas and opinions results in creative solutions. There are so many doors that can be opened when opinions from others are heard and investigated. A democratic leader is highly productive, and people feel more motivated to take on tasks and projects and finish them, given that they feel a sense of ownership. Group members also feel committed to the group and tend to stay focused and willing to follow through with the project. Some of the qualities that a good democratic leader possesses are honesty, intelligence, courage, creativity, competency, and fairness. I think these are qualities that all leaders should display, but these are often found in the more participative leadership styles. When we look at courage, I think it takes courage to look outside yourself and allow others to assist in decision making. It is hard to allow outside input when ultimately you are the decision maker and it falls into your lap. With creativity, when you think outside the box for alternative solutions, creativity rises and new ideas can be formed. Democratic leadership also allows for fairness in that it gives a voice to all, and the scales of hierarchy are balanced within the group, which treats all members fairly. In this presentation, we have looked at 3 different styles of leadership: laissez-faire, transformative, and democratic. Laissez-faire is a hands-off type leadership that uses delegation to achieve goals and objectives. It allows for creative freedom from team members, but the project can suffer if the group isn't skilled enough to work independently as a laissez-faire leader allows. In the transformative style, we see that the leader inspires change in both individuals and the social system. This type of leader inspires, motivates, and takes the individual into consideration. This type of leader promotes enthusiasm and allows people to think outside the box. However, significant details may be overlooked by this type of leader due to their idealized and grandiose visions. The democratic style focuses on group interaction and allows for group input and decision making. This creates high morale for team members and encourages group interaction. However, there is the potential for poor decision making due to unskilled group members. In looking at the 3 styles we presented to you today, we feel that the democratic style allows for the most group interaction with a balance of fairness, creativity, that gives group members a higher sense of morale and willingness to participate. The democratic leadership style allows for investment in projects, allows for personal growth, sustained job satisfaction, and strong team and group interactions. Because of this, complex projects can be performed by the group. Tasks are also easier to delegate when the group feels a sense of empowerment and has a zeal for their duties. This is very important in today's society and especially important in the healthcare industry where there is a lot of burnout and a lot of turnover in staffing. Today we shared with you 3 leadership styles and a recommendation for why we think the democratic style is the best choice, especially for healthcare. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.